Well, it's a little early to start shed hunting videos, but I'm on the board with the first one of the year. Had a picture of a buck last night, probably 80 yards down over the hill on the cell camera. He come up walking with one side. Then I had a big buck come walking down over, and there was a big hole in its head. So I'm like, well, I want to go in there and follow his tracks while we got this fresh snow, see if I can't find a shed. And sure enough, he bedded down this bed right here, and the shed is laying right there, somewhere, right there. But we're gonna go ahead and pick this thing up. Then I'm gonna follow his back track down over. I'm only dealing with a little piece of public here, so we may find it, we may not. At least we got one, and it's a pretty decent shed here, so we're gonna go ahead and pick this thing up. Well, right there's his bed. That's his tracks I was following. We got snow on top of them. But this deer just come and laid down in his bed and shook that thing right off, covered up in snow. That's as fresh as they get. Just an old, gnarly buck. That's pretty sweet. I've had this thing on camera all November, so I'd like to find his other side. It's really early. I think it's December 11th today. I mean, this is super early for deer to be shedding. I can see he has a little bit of pus right here with a little bit of hair. But, I mean, it was a clean shed. You can see the blood, wax ring, but that's sweet. That's the earliest I've ever found one. Can't believe it. Well, this is too good to believe. I found this side. He shed this side last night. I had this deer in here December 10th with both sides. I think it's the same deer. But had him here December 10th. Both sides, walked up over this hill. And I'm like, yeah, didn't think anything of it until last night. I had him come through and he only had one side. But I took a gamble, come walking up here. I was checking all these beds because I think it's just this one buck that's staying in here. There's beds all over the place. And I was checking all these old beds, just hoping maybe I could see an inch of tine sticking out of the snow. And sure enough, I come up to this bed right here and there's tine sticking out of the snow. I think it's his other side. I don't know of any other bucks being in here, but this one looks about the same color. Hopefully it's not an old one, but we're gonna go ahead and see what this thing is. You can see a faint bed right here. There's a couple of them in here. These are all old tracks. We got about 3 inches of fresh snow up here last night. And that is all I can see sticking out of the ground. I really do not know how big this thing is. I think the other side, I think this side's bigger than the other. I could be wrong, but we're gonna go ahead and find out. That one has more blood on it than the one I found last night, which is pretty cool. That's as fresh as they come. I mean, this shed's 2 days old. Beat the snow off of it. He's just an old, heavy mountain buck. Put both sheds together here in his bed. That's pretty cool. Cannot believe it. You can see on his horns or his antlers where he'd been rubbing here. But that's as fresh as they come right there. And this in here doesn't have much blood on it, and that's the one he shed last night. Super pumped. That's a hell of a PA mountain buck. Now let's just hope he makes it through the last day of rifle season without getting shot as a doe. And we can see what this thing turns into next year. We're out here checking cameras today. Today is December 18th. Walking out this tram road here, and we got a shed laying here, so we're gonna go ahead and pick it up. Shed's in the middle of the screen. What is a 5-point side? Nice one. Today's January 4th. Out here doing some late season bow pushes, walking through this real thick laurel, and I looked up, and right there is a deer shed hanging in the tree. Looks like an old one, but they're hard to find in this laurel. So I'm actually pushing for my girlfriend right now, so I'm gonna run up here, pick this thing up real quick, and get back at it. Jumped a few deer back here, but they all come down along the creek. Right there it lays. Hanger. That's pretty cool. I actually had that buck on camera last year. Sweet. Today's January 9th. Come out here to set up some cameras, maybe find some red oaks in here that these deer are feeding on. Jumped a bunch of deer in here. Couldn't find any fresh red oaks in here, but these deer are digging on this hillside with these ferns in here. Might be a couple new red oaks in here, but we definitely did not have a mass crop in here. But was coming up over the hill, and there lays shed number 5 of the year. 4th fresh one of the year. So pretty cool. Don't see his other side here, but it's probably somewhere around here. We'll look for it, but I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera around and pick this up, and we're gonna keep walking around in here. It's not very big, but a fresh shed is a good one. Got a couple big reds in here. Not gonna show too much of the background, but right there it lays. Looks like it's been down for a little while anyhow. Nice shed. He's got some weird character going on with that G2. That's pretty cool. Like acorned, and then it's like bowled out in there. That's pretty cool. Nice little buck if he makes it. It's the only thing bad. It's still muzzleloader season here in Pennsylvania, so a lot of the bucks that's shedding early, hopefully they don't get shot as a doe, so that would suck. January 10th, come out here today, check a little bit more cameras, and look for a little bit of sheds, if I could find any. Got in here where it's mainly beech nuts in here this year. There is some red oaks, but come on to a old 5-point side here. I don't think it was shed. I think it was maybe busted off in a fight. Looks like last year's anyhow, or the year before, but there's still a little bit of skull cap on it. So I think he busted it off fighting. But we're gonna go ahead and turn the camera around, pick it up, and keep walking around in here. Just starting to get into good signs. Just coming up through here, as you can see, there's some big beech trees in here, and right here lays the horn. I would say he probably busted that off fighting. There's a pretty good chunk of skull cap there. It's definitely not a shed. That one definitely hurt. He had a pretty decent headache after that one. Maybe even died, who knows. But I'd like to see the buck that busted that side off him. Be a pretty big one. Still out here with this 5-point side, cut down over the hill. Come up on the first dead one here of the year. Looks like a little 8-pointer. Definitely probably from like 2 years ago or something. He's got a lot of moss and mold on him, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera around. We'll see what he is, and then we'll leave him here. We'll keep walking around and try to find some more sheds. Well, there's that broke off one. Here's the deadhead. You can see his bones laying all over the place. Just a little 7-pointer. So we're gonna go ahead, leave him right there. That's gonna do it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed, and thanks for watching. We'll see you guys on the next one.